Bonjour, ladies and genitals. I'm here to bring you a jam-packed episode of A Million or the Moon. Okay, there's a lot to talk about in today's episode. I'm going to break down the market, talk about Bitcoin, talk about Ethereum, talk about when I'm going to start to get worried about the state of the market. I'm not worried now. This is not the time to get bearish on the market. I will tell you what would lead me to get bearish on the market, so make sure you stay tuned to this episode. And I'm also going to bring you not one, but two lowish cap gems in the NFT space that I think look extremely interesting. And I know you see the tickers there, but don't just go foaming away, because there's some very important caveats, nuance, and specific price targets that we're gonna go over. So folks, if you like the sound of that, I want to ask you to do me a favor: like, subscribe, comment, and share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. I really appreciate it. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and you'll get to stay up to date with the latest, greatest in cryptocurrency news and analysis. So folks, the news came out that Elon Musk and Tesla are now finally accepting Bitcoin for US customers to purchase a Tesla. So for the longest time, Bitcoin has been criticized that it's not really useful as a currency. You can't buy anything with it. Well, now you can buy a Tesla. So that's crazy to see, folks. So now, how much Bitcoin does it take to buy a Tesla? According to Decrypt, anywhere from 1 and 2.69 Bitcoin will get you a Tesla. So for those of you who have 2.69 Bitcoin just lying around, hey, you can buy yourself a Tesla. Really great to see. Folks, this is not the time to get bearish on the market when we're seeing massive institutional adoption, the lowest supply there's ever been for Bitcoin, and the highest demand ever, especially when it comes to institutions. And we're now seeing giant S&P 500 companies start to accept Bitcoin as a payment for their products. Folks, this is just the beginning of the bull market. I believe we're nowhere near the end. So let's talk about Bitcoin. What's going on? We're in this pitchfork. We broke down bearishly. I was letting our people know, as soon as we break down from this pitchfork, it becomes far more likely that we see bearish continuation, and that's exactly what happened. Let's delete that. I said if we break down bearishly, we're likely to find support at $54,000. That's exactly where we found our support. So as long as Bitcoin remains above $54,000, I think the worst may be behind us. If we start to break down further, then I think our next leg of support is the 50 simple moving average on the daily. This is the key, the most important support level for Bitcoin that you need to be aware of. Screw everything else, fuck everything else. This is what you need to know and what you need to follow. If we start getting a daily candle close below the 50 simple moving average on the daily for Bitcoin, that is when I'll start to get worried that we've reached some kind of cycle or local top. But until that happens, I am not at all worried. And if we go anywhere near the 50 simple moving average on the daily, that in my opinion would be an absolutely fantastic buy the dip opportunity. So until we break below this, I am not at all worried about this downtrend, this very, very small downtrend we're experiencing with the market. Because if we look at the previous downtrends we've had, this is actually the most mild one we've experienced so far. So this is not the time to get bearish, folks. Until we get a daily candle close below the 50 simple moving average on the daily, I'm not worried about the state of the market. If and when that happens, if we get a daily candle close below this, we'll definitely let you know on this channel. So make sure you stay tuned, like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. The 50 simple moving average on the daily is currently just below 51,000, roughly, I'd say just about 51,000, especially by the time you guys are watching this. And I'll tell you why this is such a significant level. Last time we pumped and dumped, we had our first 30-ish% correction with the market. Where did we start dumping? Where did we stop dumping? Where did we find our support? The 50 simple moving average on the daily. Let's zoom out. Let's look at the previous cycle. This was a relevant, extremely relevant, in fact, the most relevant support level even during the previous cycle. We can see here, last time we were exploding parabolically, pump, dump, where did we find our support? The 50 simple moving average on the daily. Pump, dump, where did we continually find support? The 50 simple moving average on the daily. It was not until we got a daily candle close below the 50 simple moving average on the daily right here that marked the end of the bull market and the beginning of the bear market. So until we get that daily candle close below the 50 simple moving average on the daily, we are still in a bull market, in my opinion. Very, very relevant support level last time around. And even this cycle, we can see that it is still a very important, very relevant support level. So Bitcoin anywhere near this thing is a buy, in my opinion. That's just what I'm doing. I'm not a financial advisor. These videos are not financial advice. If Bitcoin can get above 56,000. I think we have a good chance of seeing bullish continuation. If Bitcoin can start to get above 57,600, then I think it becomes even more likely that we see bullish continuation. And I think breaking above all-time highs could take us to 66,300. So those are my thoughts with Bitcoin. Let's talk about Ethereum. I was letting our people know that we were in this diamond pattern and that we were breaking down bearishly. Typically speaking, when we form a diamond pattern, whatever way we break out will typically move the height of the diamond. So if we take the height of the diamond here represented by this yellow line, we just copy and paste it, move it to the potential breakout points, and just, I just changed the color to red to represent a bearish trend and green to represent a bullish trend. Well, I think Ethereum could even still go back down to 1550, 1520, and still be short-term bullish, because we would still be forming a macro higher low, even if we fell down to these levels. Folks, when in doubt, zoom out. Pump, dump. Pump, dump, pump, dump. It happens all the time. We always pump, and then what happens after? We dump. It's only the most common thing. Folks, if you are not just trying to trade, and if you're trying to be a long-term hodler in crypto, understand it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. We are going to get several more large, substantial 20-30% corrections with this market before the end of this bull run. It's commonplace. It's to be expected. So if Ethereum cannot hold above 1650, I think it makes it far more likely that we retest 1550. As soon as we start to break below 1650, I think a $100 move down for Ethereum is well warranted. I've been buying more Ethereum at these levels here, 1660 to 1650. I've been buying more Ethereum. If we break down from here, I think we're likely to retest these regions again, 1550 to 1520. And if Ethereum falls to these levels, I'll be buying even more Ethereum. Ethereum is stupidly undervalued. Folks, we have optimistic rollups, we have the Berlin hard fork, we have EIP 1559, all coming this month, next month, and in July. Ethereum has never looked more long-term bullish than right now, than in this cycle. I'm incredibly bullish over the long-term future of Ethereum. I think it has a very good chance of reaching well over $10,000 this year, this cycle. Again, that's just my opinion, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I would just be extremely surprised if Ethereum didn't reach well over 10,000 this cycle. Now, folks, I want to bring you two low-ish cap gems that are in the NFT space that look immensely interesting. Let me just begin with Rev, because I think that this one is probably more time sensitive here. So Rev, what is Rev? Well, Rev is an NFT play. Rev is the main utility token in the game currency of the branded motorsports games produced by Animoca Brands. So folks, that's a bit of a mouthful. Bottom line, Animoca Brands is huge in the NFT space. Anything they're behind is well worth your attention, because everything they've gotten behind has been absolutely killing it. This looks very interesting. Let's take a look at the market cap. Just over 100 million. It's not a super low capper, but it's not a large capper by any means at all. So the fact that this is an NFT play, NFT plays look have been killing it. Low-ish market cap, but also the technicals, folks. The technicals look extremely interesting with this thing. Why? We're constantly forming these slanted resistance levels, these wedges, ascending, descending triangles. And look, every time we break out a slanted resistance, we shoot up, have a massive impulse. So we were in this wedge, broke out, had a massive impulse. In this ascending triangle, broke out, had a massive impulse. And now, again, we're forming a descending triangle here. So we formed a wedge, formed an ascending triangle. Now we're forming a descending triangle, and we're breaking out bullishly. But we're getting rejected off the 50-cent region here. So there might be a good buying opportunity with this thing, potentially. If and when Rev can hold above 50 cents, I think it has a very good chance of seeing bullish continuation and hitting 65 to 75 cents. Let me say that again. If and when Rev can hold 50 cents, I think there's a very good chance that we see 65 to 75 cents in the near future. In terms of where I would be looking to buy in, personally speaking, anywhere from 46 cents to 43.8 is where I would be looking to accumulate Rev. Again, this could always fall further. None of this is a guarantee, folks. Technical analysis is a game of probabilities. What's happened in the past has a good chance of happening, at least in a similar fashion, in the future. That's why technical analysis works, but none of this is a guarantee. But hear me now, quote me later. If and when we get above 50 cents, I think 65 to 75 cents is where our next impulse takes us with Rev. So that's what I see happening with Rev. Now let's talk about Superfarm. Now, Superfarm is not really a low capper. I'm kind of cheating a little bit here, calling it a low capper, guys. I know. But I'm extremely bullish on this thing because this thing has a market cap of 295 million. And this is what they've accomplished so far. What we're looking at here is a $295 million website and idea. They've essentially just released, a project, printed out a few articles and put out this website, and that's all worth 295 million. And the reason why I find that funny is because they obviously haven't done anything yet, but I think it is just a matter, it is just a matter of time before they release their platform and start to deliver on their promises. So because they haven't really done anything yet, I still think it's early days, and Superfarm may potentially be undervalued if you're a long-term investor. And I see a lot of very interesting things happening with the technicals that you really need to know about. So just to start off, I've been shilling Superfarm ever since this thing was at like $1. Really, join our Discord group. There's tons of posts. You can look back at the timestamps. I've been talking about this thing all throughout these ranges. I was saying so much opportunity with this thing. I was buying into all these ranges, all these dips, all that I could. I was buying into this thing. So, folks, I think this is just the beginning for Superfarm. Why? I'm seeing something extremely interesting happening with the technicals. Every time we form this slanted resistance, these descending triangles, and we break above it, we have an impulse. Descending triangle had an impulse. And what are we forming right now? A bit of a descending triangle slash wedge. I mean, you could draw this different things. I could draw, a baseline somewhere here. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, it means whether this is a wedge or descending triangle, it means the same thing. If we can get above this blue resistance line here, I think we have a very good chance of seeing bullish continuation. But not only this blue resistance line here, but the price reactive zone of $3.22. We can see how 3 times we got rejected off this region, 319, 320, 321. This region here constantly acting as resistance. As well, we have the 168 right here, the Fibonacci extension level acting as resistance. That's right at, roughly $3.25. We also have our Fibonacci retracement, the 236 level, right at, $2.26, around that level, the high, so point being, there's clusters of resistance, all from $3.19 to about $3.30. So if and when Superfarm can get above and hold above $3.21, but if you want to be even safer, if you want that extra bit of confirmation, if and when Superfarm can get above and hold above $3.30, I think this has an extremely good chance of seeing bullish continuation, retesting all-time highs at $4, entering price discovery, and personally, folks, where I think it could go, $5.30, $6, I think that's probably where our next impulse could take us. Especially if we get the launch of their, of their platform, if they start delivering on their promises, if they get, more exchange listings. I think it's still early days for Superfarm, folks. Hear me now, quote me later. If they deliver on their promises, if they start to release their platform, if their partnerships, pull through and the things they're promising, their developments start to actually manifest, I think Superfarm is going to be a top 5, top 3 NFT project in terms of market cap. Let's take a look at what the top NFT projects are today in terms of market cap. 2.3 billion, 1.2 billion. Could Superfarm find its way up here over long term, next few months, if they release their platform, if things go well, if they start to deliver on their promises? I think something like that is likely, is probable. And so while yes, it does have a market cap of, let's say just for ease of argument here, $300 million, could we one day get a market cap in over $1 billion, $2 billion? I think so. So if you look at it that way, I still think Superfarm to this day is undervalued. Again, we could always break down. Something like that is always a possibility. If we do break down, I think where we probably find our support is $2.50 to about $2.11, $2. The only thing I'm basing that is the Fibonacci retracement, the golden pocket ratio. So whenever things have massive run-ups and they correct and they dump, they typically like to fall back down to and find support in the 618 Fib retracement level. This is known as the golden pocket. If Superfarm were to fall within this region here, this is where I would be personally, myself, looking to buy and dollar cost average my way into Superfarm if we break down bearishly from this wedge. So, folks, if you like this video and if you want more low cap gems in distilled technical analysis, just the important stuff, and brand new news stories, latest and greatest in technical analysis and news and crypto. Like, subscribe, comment, and share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. Check out our Discord group, link for that down in the description below. They got all this stuff first as well. If you like what we do and you want to support us, join our Patreon, link for that down in the description below. Joining our Patreon, you get access to our VIP Discord group. In our VIP Discord group, we talk about low cap gems, interesting setups, and bullish catalysts, helpful resources, that kind of stuff. And they got this this breakdown of technical analysis with Rev and Superfarm first. So make sure you join all of that. Link for that down in the description below. Like, subscribe, comment, and share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Until next time, take care.